1075 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests. We do it all. We know what bugs you. Visit us online at pestfreesc.com. That's pestfreesc.com.
Footwork, which is the most underrated thing for a quarterback, is footwork.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have good footwork, you can't throw the ball accurately at all. You just can't. We'll talk about that in a minute. He's talking about anticipation, which is basically throwing guys open, anticipating routes, anticipating where a guy's going to be, right?
Yep.
And that's pro-level stuff. When you start anticipating the route and anticipating the throw. And trusting himself, which I thought was very interesting. For a guy that had some really good moments throwing the football last year, I think maybe what a lot of this is at times, like he would look at one read and take off. Why? He trusts his legs.
Sure.
More than he trusts his arm, which makes sense. You see him run around. I trust my legs too. So he trusts his legs probably at this stage more than he trusts his arm. So he's got to gain the same amount of trust for his arm as he does for his legs, which then you will be apt to stay in the pocket and maybe look at more of your progressions before you take off. All right, so Jawarn Howell, I like Jawarn Howell. I think there's a lot of upside there. And the few times we saw him actually run the ball last year, I thought you could see some explosiveness, nice little lean to him. You know, he broke some tackles when he had the fumble against Illinois, unfortunately.
Right.
But that was a play where he gained positive yards and then fumbled. So I just think there's a lot of potential there with Howell. Man, he tore it up on that lower level at South Carolina State. Remember, he was averaging, 7 yards a carry or something goofy like that?
Yeah, and we knew that, he would likely, especially with Rocket Sanders already being there, wasn't going to be a guy that was going to come in and make an immediate impact. But it was more of a long-term play, knowing he had multiple years of eligibility after playing his freshman year at SC State. And, again, the moments we saw him, good flashes, good glimpses at what he could be. And this year we'll see if he takes on a bigger role.
What's John Morant got in trouble for here in the NBA the last few years?
Guns.
Yeah. So if you got in trouble because of your whatever you're doing with a gun on social media.
More than once,
what would be probably a not real good idea to do in any way, shape, or form anywhere?
That.
I love John Morant's game. I do. I love watching him play. And it's a shame what goes on with John Morant away from playing the game of basketball that I hope does not hinder this career from getting to where it can be before it's all said and done.
Sure.
But again, that's the go-to there. I mean, a gun gesture. Come on. You gotta
get out of your system. You're a great talent. You got a long career ahead of you. Don't screw it up.
On this day in 1987, the Chicago Cubs, they have a pitcher. Guy was, as a starter, had some success, had won 20 games with the Indians. I believe also had thrown a complete game in his career. And it felt like he was on the backside of his career, and his best was over. So the Cubs take this guy and trade him to the Oakland A's, a dude named Dennis Eckersley.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, there's some off-the-field stuff with Eckersley as well at that time. So Eckersley goes to Oakland, gets his life straightened out. Tony La Russa says, let's see if you can close games. And Dennis Eckersley became one of the greatest closers in the history of baseball. But he is known for not successfully closing a baseball game. Game 1 of the World Series in 1988. He gives up the home run to Kirk Gibson.